Thank you for this opportunity. I am pleased to join on this very special day. Today, we bid farewell to an incredible woman in this community, in communities throughout the world, over the last decade and a half as the Executive Director of Network. Sister Simone defies all attempts at categorization. She is a religious leader, a sublime poet, a high-flying attorney, a fearless advocate, and an indefatigable campaigner. Throughout her life, Sister Simone has made an indelible mark on the lives of millions in the United States and around the globe. She is a woman of God, and by so a woman of the people, who understands that the church is not simply comprised of people. She understands that the church is the people of God. We all know her legacy, pioneering efforts to organize Catholics in progressive politics through faith and empowerment, often crossing the country multiple times, during the nuns on the bus trips to do so, and serving as a sister of social service for 57 years, since 1964. She has embodied the mission, quote, enlivened by the Holy Spirit, advocating peace and justice for the common good in light of the social mission of the church, end quote. But her selflessness has stretched all around the globe. In 2004, at the height of the Afghanistan and Iraq wars, she sponsored a delegation of Iraqi women to come to the Congress and tell members of Congress about the impact of the war on women and children. And 20 years ago, she surveyed Central America to provide a valuable perspective on worker migrations, influencing members of Congress from across the country. Sister Simone will always be a champion for social justice, consistently advocating for women's rights, affordable health care, and systemic change. She has been an inspiration to me, and she has enriched my life, personally and professionally, and made a profound impact on my work as a member of Congress. And I will continue to work with her wherever she is and wherever I am. I will forever cherish you and your unwavering commitment to helping others. I wish you well, Sister Simone, and I know you will continue to touch others no matter where you are. Thank you for all you have done, and may God bless you.
You know, about 16 years ago, when I first came to Congress, I met a lively woman named Simone Campbell, Nuns on the Bus. As she traveled around the country, I met her in Washington, D.C. I met her here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and she was about the true mission of Christianity. That whole Matthew 25 thing, the whole Jesus wing of the Christian faith that says, love your enemy, that uplift widows and children, feed the hungry, minister to the poor. She is retiring from her stewardship, and we are so grateful to you, Sister Simone. Nuns on the Bus. We'll see you on that next journey.
Hi, Sister Simone. It's Jim McGovern. I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for your many years of incredible work at Network, for all the work with Nuns on the Bus, for your unrelenting commitment to causes of social justice and peace and everything that is good. It's meant a lot to me to have you around here during these last several years when things get pretty depressing here in Washington. But you've always been a ray of hope. You've always been a reminder that we can do better. And, you know, at a time when a lot of people are questioning their faith, you remind us what it means to be a faithful person and what faith is all about. So it's been a real honor to be able to work with you, and I think the world of you. And I wish you the best in the coming years. But I have a feeling I'm going to see you at a rally or at a protest, and maybe even getting arrested. And I look forward to joining you because I know it'll be for a good cause. So stay well, all the best, and I love you a lot.
Greetings, I am Congressman Adriano Espaillat, and I commend Sister Simone Campbell on 16 long years of service, pioneering efforts to organize Catholics to help protect access to healthcare for millions of Americans. Thank you for your service, your commitment and dedication to ensure economic justice, to ensure immigrant rights, healthcare coverage, environmental justice, and voting rights. You have truly made a difference throughout your engagement and advocacy on behalf of our communities. Thank you so much, sister.
From the time she took her first vows with the Sisters of Social Service in California to her current role as Executive Director of Network, where she served for over 16 years, Sister Simone Campbell has dedicated her life to serving God by serving the people. Her lifetime of fighting for justice has made us a better people and a better country. We thank her for her history-making work to help pass the Affordable Care Act, which has saved lives and provided health care for millions of Americans. We're counting on Nuns on the Bus to continue Sister Simone's legacy by protecting Americans' right to health care as we battle this pandemic. For Sister Simone's years of leadership with Network and her lifetime of defending the most vulnerable, America thanks her. God bless you, Sister Simone. I wish you every blessing as you continue to serve God by seeing Him in all of His creations.
Our nation has long been blessed by the humble leadership and spirit of my dear friend, Sister Simone Campbell. Sister Campbell has dedicated her life to the service of others. Through her bold efforts at Network Lobby and launching the Nuns on the Bus campaign, she has lifted the voices of the voiceless and ensured their needs are met with faith and with kindness. Her achievements are many, but let me name just a few. Sister Simone pioneered efforts to strengthen our healthcare system, expand voting rights, push for tax reform, improve immigration policy, advance economic policy, and more. I had the honor of working with Sister Simone and joining Nuns on the Bus during a stop in Albany, New York, to help amplify their message of justice and equality for all. She is a true beacon, guiding and inspiring all of us through faith, humility, and service. Sister Simone, thank you for your remarkable work improving the lives of others and fighting to build a better world. I wish you the very best as you embark upon the next chapter in your life. God bless you always.
I'm Congresswoman Carolyn Maloney, and I'm thrilled today to celebrate Sister Simone, a champion for justice and leadership. She's been a blessing to our country. Under her leadership, Network Lobby has been a leading voice in the national debate, advancing progressive healthcare, immigration, and economic policies, galvanizing support for key programs and legislation across the nation. I and so many others, including President Obama, were incredibly grateful for her penning the Nuns letter in support of the Affordable Care Act. And it's hard to believe that it has already been 8 years since the first Nuns on the Bus trip. Since then, she's led 6 cross-country trips and a virtual one last year. There's no stopping Sister Simone. Sister Simone, your unwavering lifetime commitment to people and to social and economic justice have made this country better for all who live here. We owe you a great debt of gratitude. So truly, I just want to say thank you on behalf of myself and the millions of others who have been blessed by your work. Thank you.
Sister Simone, you are one of my sheroes. All the work that you did to help the Affordable Care Act pass, all of the work that you've done on so many critical issues like immigration, your leadership has just been stellar. Nuns on the Bus, that was such a powerful movement. And now I hear you're stepping down. I just want to tell you how much we have appreciated, admired, respected, and hope to emulate your wonderful leadership. I'm not sure what you're going to do when you step down, but somehow I have a hard time believing that you're just going to retire and sit down and read a good book and watch a good movie. I know you'll be involved in the struggle for justice because it's in every vein in your body. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for all the work you've done. And I will be interested to see what the next chapter in your journey brings.
Hi, this is Congressman Dan Kildee, and I just want to say thank you, Sister Simone, for being a voice for immigrants, for being a voice for people who just need access to health care, for being a voice for economic and social justice, for being a voice for the people of my hometown of Flint. We are grateful to you. You have made a difference. Thank you, Sister Simone.
And I want to thank you, Sister Campbell, for your leadership that has engaged people of faith to advocate for just and compassionate policies. Over the past decade, the Nuns on the Bus campaign has accomplished a lot. You helped advocate for and defend the Affordable Care Act. You brought attention to fair tax reform, and you worked to protect the most vulnerable members of our community. Nuns on the Bus has consistently helped raise the voices of people who have been ignored for too long. As chair of the House Subcommittee on Immigration and Citizenship, I have to specifically thank you for your work pursuing humane immigration policies. People of faith, led in no small part by the Nuns on the Bus, played a critical role in denouncing the Trump administration's cruel family separation policy, and your voices brought more moral clarity to the obligations we have to asylum seekers, to refugees, and to other immigrants fleeing violence and looking to build a better life for their families. Your thoughtfulness continues to inform my ongoing work to make our nation's immigration system more fair. I'd also like to thank you, Sister Campbell, for your strong support of H.R. 1, the For the People Act. As I shepherded the package of pro-democracy and anti-corruption reforms through the Committee on House Administration in both the 116th and 117th congressional sessions, I was fortunate to have you and all the other nuns on the bus fighting to eliminate barriers to the ballot box. You were fighting alongside me. Throughout your 16 years with Network, you've consistently highlighted how our often miscommunicated and ethical debates can be quite simple and quite aligned with religious fundamentals. Honor thy neighbor. I've long been inspired by your tireless work to protect those who are marginalized in America and around the world. I join so many in celebrating and honoring your decades of service. Thank you for fighting to make the world a better place, and I wish you all the best in retirement.
Hey everybody, Senator Tim Kaine here. Thanks so much for inviting me to speak with you all and letting me pay tribute to a great hero, Sister Simone Campbell, and all the great work that she's done. Sister Simone has been such a wonderful leader over the years in getting more Catholics involved with progressive politics and pushing for meaningful change. Whether it's been supporting healthcare access, economic fairness, or voting rights, Sister Simone has been a champion in fighting for justice and for marginalized communities, truly a servant in the tradition of the great gospel message. As someone whose faith is very important to me, I'm proud to see the work Sister Simone has done to inspire more Catholics to lean into their faith and help others. Thanks again for letting me speak with you all today, and I want to give Sister Simone the very best of luck moving forward.
Lloyd Doggett here from deep in the heart of Texas, the congressman for Maria Berriozabal and so many of your fans. Those who need protection don't have a limousine lobbyist, but thanks to Sister Simone, they do have a bus. With Sister Simone at the wheel, the destination has been economic and social justice, more health care, and peace in our world. Her drive is an inspiration, and the nuns and their allies have not just been on the bus, but out in the community to listen, to learn, and to respond. Having her as a partner sometimes meant that we delivered relief from Congress, and often just meant that we prevented more harm from being done. We always saw her assure that every member of Congress was being monitored on the most significant social justice issues. While no single person can really take her place, she has inspired many to step up. Her work, her vision, ensures that we can continue to close the economic gap, the healthcare gap, and the justice gap in this country. I'm inspired by her work, lifting many out of hardship, awed by her leadership, and honored by her friendship. All the best.
I'm Sherrod Brown. It's an honor to represent Ohio and serve our country in the United States Senate. Sister Simone Campbell, this is Sherrod Campbell Brown, my middle name, Campbell, and thank you. Congratulations. Thank you for your 16 years leading Network and Nuns on the Bus. Thanks for letting me on your bus from time to time as you fought for justice in my state and around the country. Few people understand the connection between our faith and workers' rights and civil rights as deeply as Sister Simone. I just love being part of your mission when Nuns on the Bus came to my state, came to Ohio, and I will always remember and I thank you for that. When I think about your work, as I think I've said to you, Sister Simone, my favorite Bible verse is Matthew 25, when Jesus said, when I was hungry, you fed me, when I was thirsty, and you visited me. What you did for the least of these. And then I realized that just doesn't sound right. Jesus didn't think, nor did Muhammad, nor did Buddha, nor did Maimonides think that some people were worth more than other people. So I came upon a few years ago a different translation of the Bible, the Poverty and Justice Bible, and went like this. Jesus said, when I was hungry, you fed me. When I was thirsty, you gave me drink. When I was in prison, you visited me. What you did for those who seemed less important, you did for me. And I think that's such an important difference. We know that Sister Simone and her vision of the world, no one is worth less than any other to Sister Simone. You live those values every day. You've organized people of faith around compassionate, progressive policies. You've always fought for the most vulnerable among us. So many people love you for your empathy, your kindness, your activism. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Sister Simone.
Sister Simone, I feel quite honored to have been asked to just offer a few brief words of thank you and congratulations for your amazing work over these many years. Stepping forward as a person of faith and putting yourself in the arena of public policy, I know at times is not easy, but it has made such an incredible difference for our country. That's undeniable. I feel privileged that you and I had the chance to work together to advance democracy reform, because you appreciate that lifting up the voices of every person in our country and in our democracy is a matter of morality. And I want to thank you for your great work there. It has made a huge difference to getting us to the point we're at right now, where the prospects of broad, meaningful democracy reform are within our reach. Thank you so much for that. Thank you for all that you've done for the downtrodden, for the left out, for the locked out across our country who just want to have a voice. You've made an amazing difference.
Hi, it's Jamie Raskin. I'm just here to say congratulations to Sister Simone on all of your extraordinary and dazzling hard work with the Catholics for Social Justice movement. I want to toast you and praise you for everything you've done, and I want to salute you on whatever your new endeavors are going to be. I'm not quite sure what your next move is. Please let me know if you're going to run for president. That would be a campaign of a lot of interest to me, and I hope you get to take some time off and do something fun, like maybe do a cross-country road trip. That's something you're really good at. So congratulations again on your retirement and on a job well done, and please stay in close touch as things unfold.
Thank you so much for allowing me to participate in this ceremony celebrating the legacy of Sister Simone. It's a legacy which I started to share back in 2009 when I began working with her on the Affordable Care Act. I remember many of those discussions very well. And when that act was finally signed into law, we continued that relationship in my work as chair of the House Democrats in the House Faith Working Group. And working with her throughout all of this has been a pleasure. As many of you know, I wrote my memoirs and it was published back in 2015, and I call it Blessed Experiences. And one of the reasons I call the book that is because my father, who was a fundamentalist minister, his favorite song was Blessed Assurance. And of course, you all know the refrain from that song, this is my story, this is my song, singing his praises all the day long. Well, that could very well be the life and legacy of Sister Simone. She has been a blessing to me and so many others. I also said that, we are but the sum total of our experiences, and it frames who and what we are. We can be no more, no less than what our experiences allow us to be. And my experiences with Sister Simone allow me to be a better person. And I'm sure there are hundreds and maybe even thousands of people who can testify to the same. Good luck, Sister Simone, and Godspeed.
I used to have a good friend in the United States Senate. He was a wiry, compact little man, just 5 feet 5 inches. Here's what he used to say: I'm not here to look out for the Rockefellers. They have enough people on their side. They don't need me. I'm here for the little fellers. The senator's name was Paul Wellstone. Sister Simone knew him. He used to campaign on an old school bus that he painted green and drove all over Minnesota and then drove all over America. When Paul Wellstone died in a plane crash, his staff and the people who believed in him made a promise. They were never going to park the bus. 2 years later, Sister Simone Campbell became the executive director of Network. I don't know anyone who's been truer to the values of Paul Wellstone and Christian values than Sister Simone and the nuns on the bus. In 2010, over 10 years ago, when it appeared that opponents were going to block the passage of President Obama's Affordable Care Act, Sister Simone rallied Catholic women, religious leaders, to back the bill publicly. A lot of older Catholic bishops were upset, but her support was a critical turning point in the 60-year-long effort to make affordable health care a right for all Americans. Today, there are millions of Americans who can afford to see a doctor and receive basic medical care because Sister Simone refused to give up. Millions of more people have food to eat, safe places to live, they can retire in dignity, because Sister Simone and her nuns on the bus were standing up for them all the way. Sister Simone, it has been a true honor to work with you. I hope that retirement gives you a little time to catch your breath, but I know that you're never going to park that bus, and neither will we.
Hi, I'm Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal, and I just want to take a moment today to recognize the incredible leadership and achievement of my fierce friend, our fierce champion, Sister Simone. Sister Simone, your 16 years of work with the Network Lobby for Catholic Social Justice has been transformative. Your clear, strong, and compelling leadership on not just stating our values, but on taking action, organizing for what you believe in, has inspired people across our country. You have been crucial to changing the narrative and helping to advance important legislation and progressive ideas on healthcare, immigration, and fair tax reform. Your career is like a visionary North Star for what is truly possible when you put your heart, your values, and your organizing muscle into achieving justice. It has been such an honor to be in these struggles with you. Thank you, Sister Simone, for everything that you've done, and may you have all that you want in whatever the next chapter will be. I know that whatever you do, you'll always be standing up for the people.
Hi, Sister Campbell. I'm Congressman David Trone from Maryland's 6th District. I'd like to congratulate you on your 16 plus years of service to the network lobby. Your commitment for the rights of all people in this country is humbling. I want to thank you for all you've done to advance progressive policies that benefit Americans. One of my favorite events that the network holds is Nuns on the Bus tour. I'm glad this year's tour was able to take place virtually. Your organization's work to rally Catholic voters is impressive and very impactful. My brother's a Catholic. It's exciting to see other Catholics committed to service, engagement, and justice. I'm proud to partner with the many faith-based organizations in my work, including Catholic Charities, to fight the Muslim ban. It's so important to have strong partners on key issues like immigration reform, LGBTQ equality, and welfare systems. I'm proud to have voted with you and your organizations 100% on the important bills like the CARES Act, George Floyd Justice and Policing Act. Your legacy will live on in this incredible organization because of your commitment to justice and equality. Congrats on an outstanding career, Sister Campbell. I wish you the best. Take care and be safe.
Hi, Sister Simone. Mark Pocan from Wisconsin here. Just want to say, wow, 16 years of unbelievable work that you've done working with the network and, of course, Nuns on the Bus. It is such a great career you've had, doing so many great things for social justice. I'll never forget when you used your voice very effectively to scold Paul Ryan to make sure he was actually following Catholic teachings the way they're supposed to be, not the way his Republicanism was interpreting them. Great moment that I'll never, ever forget. Your advocacy around the country, making sure that people understood good social justice has been so important, and your advocacy, again, behalf of healthcare and so many issues, immigration, you name it. You've been such a major player, and I just want to say thank you. I wish you the best on whatever your next chapter is, but I can tell you had a big impact on this member of Congress, and I'm guessing Paul Ryan would say the same thing, but probably for different reasons.
I'm Congresswoman Betty McCollum, and I have the honor and privilege of representing the families in Minnesota's 4th Congressional District in St. Paul, Minnesota, which is the home to the University of St. Catherine's, my alma mater. I had the opportunity of meeting Sister Simone in 2014 when Nuns on the Bus tour made a stop at St. Kate's in St. Paul. We had a fantastic conversation, Sister, about what it means to shape federal policy that reflects our shared values as Catholics. As Pope Francis says, and I quote, "A good Catholic meddles in politics." While you and I have taken different paths in how we approach politics and our political involvement, we share a commitment to social justice that guides my work in Congress. Your advocacy, Sister, and commitment to serving the least of these has made a huge impact in communities across America, and especially when it comes to healthcare justice. So, Sister, as you celebrate your retirement, know that I am celebrating you, your achievements, and I am so grateful for your work in advancing social justice. From the organizing around the Affordable Care Act to a decade ago, what a difference you've made. And then now, today, speaking out in support of social justice with the Black Lives Matter movement. You've answered the call to create a better world and encourage others to participate in civic life. You inspire me and so many others. Thank you for your work. A heartfelt congratulations. Best wishes to you, and God bless you.
It's an honor to join you today in paying tribute to Sister Simone Campbell. She embodies all of the values that 20 years of Catholic school taught me, that a person ought to strive for grace, advocacy, and service. For decades, Sister Simone's work has touched millions of Americans. Her leadership is deeply rooted in her faith, and she is a powerhouse who has helped advance progressive policies that have lifted up so many across the country. She was instrumental in the passage of the Affordable Care Act, bringing together religious leaders on behalf of the belief that healthcare is a right and not a privilege. Her Nuns on the Bus tour showed us all what it meant to truly live your values as she went coast to coast talking about lifting up our families and children. I will forever admire Sister Simone's bravery and leadership, and I'm forever grateful for all that she has given to our country. Thank you and congratulations. You deserve it.
Dear Sister Simone, this is Congresswoman Jan Schakowsky. I want to thank you. You have been such an inspiration to me. You have been such a help for our country. You have added a moral perspective to all the issues that we are fighting for, appropriately so. You have been a fabulous organizer and a inspiration to people to get involved, action. And so as the leader of Network, and of course, the Nuns on the Bus was such a spectacular idea, and you've done such a great job with that, to bring the message everywhere and on the ground and in person. You touch people. You touch people for real, physically, but you touch us in our hearts. I just want to thank you for all the issues that I've been working on for a long time. You have been a leader, and your voice has been absolutely critical. I love to see you on television. I love to see you in person. I wish I could do more of that. And I know that you're going to bring your perspective about equity, about justice, as you continue on in the next chapter of your life. And I certainly hope to be working with you. And I want to put in a word for my husband, Bob Creamer, who loves you dearly and appreciates you so much for your leadership, your activism, and your courage to speak out for what is right. I love you so much. And thank you for coming to Chicago and being part of a celebration that I have every year. Thank you so much.
Hi, everyone. This is Senator Chuck Schumer. I'm thrilled to join with all of you at Network to say congratulations and thank you to a most incredible leader. Sister Simone, you have spent 16 years being the guiding star at Network. Thank you so much for everything you've done to advance the cause of social justice and to preach the gospel, not just through words, but more importantly, through deeds and action. For decades, Network's been a shining example of how to bring people together to make change happen at the grassroots level on behalf of the poor, the infirm, the forgotten. Under Sister Simone's leadership, the Nuns of the Bus campaign launched tours across America to fight Paul Ryan's cruel budget, to raise awareness against the forces of bigotry and racism in America, and to make sure people had their voices heard in 2020, even in the middle of the pandemic. Pope Francis says that good Catholics meddle in politics. So, sister, and to all of Network, thank you for meddling and for making a huge difference. My very best to you on the road ahead.
Sister Simone, Raúl Grijalva here, and wanting to thank you as you step down as the leader of Network, an organization who has influenced public policy, the way people think, and the direction of this country. And as you step down, you should be very, very proud of the work that was done. As a Catholic kid and going to catechism, I learned early on that you are respectful and you provide you give deference to, and you listen carefully to what the priest tells you in church. But I also learned, I think the most important lesson, that the nuns that taught catechisms, not only did you listen to them, but you did what they told you to do. And because of that, when I met Sister, it was easy to do what she asked me to do. I want to say how important it is what you did, Sister, and network, and the wonderful nuns that worked with you and sisters that worked with you, is to bring faith-based values to bear on the life and the future of all people in this country and in the world. Your early work on opposition and questioning the war in Iraq and Afghanistan, and the work that Catholic sisters did through their organizing and through your leadership essentially saved the Affordable Care Act. I really believe that. You defended it and you helped pass it through Congress. And we owe you a debt of gratitude for standing tall with the poor, with the marginalized, and with the undocumented, despite the winds of hate and fear that unfortunately have been swirling around us for too long. As a member of Congress, sister, my debt of and my gratitude is that you helped change the focus of our work, that our work has become more people-centered and more value-centered as we go forward. And like I said, millions of people have accessible and affordable health care, and despite the efforts, the Affordable Care Act continues to stand and to serve people. Your work on tax reform and fairness is not forgotten, that there is an equal responsibility for the maintenance of our society for all of us, and not just for the middle class and the poor. That equal responsibility lays with the super rich in this country and corporate America, who have benefited so much from the tax reforms of the past. It's time to make sure that those benefits are extended to all Americans. And the civic engagement through sacred values and through faith has promoted social justice and moral clarity in this country. And thank you for that, sister. That's the debt of gratitude and appreciation that I have. I admire your strength and your determination, and I look forward to working with you as we go forward in the future, as we define this great nation of ours in a more equitable, fair, and just way. That definition continues, your work continues, but the work you have done, it is important to pause, to think about it, and for all of us to take this opportunity to say what I started out to say. Sister, thank you very much.
Hi, Sister Simone. On behalf of the White House and the Biden-Harris administration, I want to thank you for your service and leadership as Executive Director of Network Catholic Lobby for Social Justice. You've been such a tremendous partner to so many of us on so many important issues, from healthcare to immigration to economic policy and more. You've been a tireless advocate for the most vulnerable, and someone who's shown courage time and time again in the face of setbacks, challenges, and trials galore. You've never hesitated to do what's right, even when it's hard. You are the leader we all want to be, and you'll always be our nun on the bus. From all of us, thank you, and we owe you a toast.
You know, in San Francisco, we take great pride in the fact that St. Francis is our patron saint, that his anthem, the Song of St. Francis, is the anthem of our city. He also said something else that is about Sister Simone. He said, preach the gospel, sometimes use words. And that is what Sister Simone has done. Preach the gospel of justice and fairness and respect for the dignity and worth of every person. And it has been just whether it's for immigrants to our country, for economic justice, nuns on the bus when they tried to pass a terrible tax scam that was unfair, passing and saving the Affordable Care Act. So it is into programmatic, but also stopping some awful things that they want to do. Well, just to talk about the Affordable Care Act, the week before the final Senate passage, which was a challenge, the ACA network, thank you network, came to Congress to share a letter and petition from thousands of nuns in support of the ACA. The letter read, "This reform is a faith mandate for life and the dignity of all people. Thank you, Sister Simone. Thank you to the nuns. The nuns saved us. The nuns really saved us. Thank God for the nuns. I said that again and again at the time, but not just at the time. Saved us from the assaults on the Affordable Care Act. As you know, Dr. King has said that all the inequalities, the injustice in terms of healthcare is the most inhuman because people can die. Well, Sister Simone and Network have seen that very clearly. And I understand Sister Carol was going to be on. Sister Carol was so instrumental in all of that. Thank you, Sister Carol. She knows how much I appreciate her leadership as well. Now with President Biden in the White House, and I know you'll be hearing from some of your friends, your many friends in the administration, we're going to defeat this pandemic, and we're going to do it in a way that is fair, that recognizes the injustices that have existed in our healthcare system, but are more obvious when we come to a pandemic. And then there are other things like the fight for 15 and fight for a decent wage. Again, ensuring immigration bills become law, combating police brutality, and ending gun violence epidemic. Whatever there was an issue of justice before the Congress, or one that we wanted to come before the Congress, Sister Simone was there. I just remember recently being with her when we were planting flags to commemorate the number of people who had died from the epidemic, to quantify, well, we couldn't have 500,000 flags, but we could have one for every 10,000, something like that. So when I don't want to be talking about saying goodbye to Sister Simone because I don't know where she's going, but she was always in our hearts. We'll always wonder what guidance she will be giving us, challenging our consciences to do more, to do better, to be relentless until we have achieved the justice. It's an horizon that we just keep reaching for because we always want to do better. But I can just tell you the nuns on the bus, whatever the fight was at the moment, were the most effective messengers. They attracted support in every way and attracted attention to an injustice that needed to be corrected. So we're saying goodbye. I mean, I don't know what that means. I mean, I do not accept the fact that we won't be seeing you, but thank you for your leadership and the difference that you have made in the lives of millions of people, Sister Simone.